This is in the middle of the desert, but also next to a mountain, but also right next to a bustling town. Crazy, right? You know what else is crazy? We almost didn't come here. We were leaving Joshua Tree, and that's when Sarah said, "What if we check out Palm Springs?" And then I said, "Isn't that where older people snowbird?" In my defense, that's usually how it's sold. An escape. Is it cool or corny? For the young or for the old? Worth the money or just a trap? Maybe it's all of the above. But once you're here, the landscape kind of hijacks the whole experience. Which raised a practical question. If this place is a desert oasis, just how expensive is it to visit? Well, we don't really know. We're usually pretty open about what we spend, but we don't often give ourselves a limit as often as we should. So this time, we are. We gotta come back down? I feel like that might be worse. $300, 3 days, $100 a day. This should be enough.
But it's gonna take money, a whole lot of spending money. It's gonna take plenty of money to do it right, child.
Welcome to Palm Springs. So much for being in the desert. Day one in Palm Springs starts in a downpour. Well, we raced down California to beat the rain. We ran to the desert to beat the rain, and it's still following us. It is a wet and rainy day. But we are here at the Palm Springs Air Museum. I wanted to stop at this place because a lot of the volunteers here are actually war veterans. So they share their stories and you get to see the experience, you get to see the planes, which is cool. You can buy tickets to get in some of these planes. They have like World War I and World War II planes that you can fly in. We can't afford that. But also with the weather, I don't know how much we're gonna see them taking off anyway. So we're gonna go in here, check out the museum and see what else we can do today. But since it's so wet, I don't know how much we can get in. Hopefully it won't derail the entire trip. We were here a little before they opened, so we have time for some breakfast from Lunch Lady Sarah.
Slop. You want a spoon or a fork?
Spoon? The hell?
I don't know your life.
Shit, I'm not a psycho.
Give me a big spoon. Breakfast.
What do you call it?
Slop.
We walked into the Palm Springs Air Museum just thinking we'd take a quick lap. Maybe see a few planes, you know? I mean, it's rainy and it's early in the day. That plan lasted maybe 30 seconds. Classic. There's so many cool planes in here. I saw outside they had the statue for the Tuskegee Airmen, so I'm gonna see if they have like a little section for them too. So cool.
It would take decades for a special group of airmen to be recognized for all of their efforts that paved the way for so many today. Tuskegee Airmen were the first African Americans to fly combat missions in the United States military during World War II.
Can't see that far to read.
Oh my gosh. Built in 1941 and 1946.
Now, I don't pretend to be well-versed in history, but I honestly didn't know that they allowed women to be pilots as early as World War II. So this was a fun little tidbit for me.
But even before they get a chance to take the polish off their nails, it's out onto a dusty Texas grill field with them. Right away, the Air Force wants to get a little muscle on those pretty arms. This scene provides a pretty fair picture of what the girls look like from all angles. None of them are under 21.
While walking through the museum, we ran into an old Navy photographer's mate who explained the B-17s. Completely random connection. But fun fact, that was kind of my rate when I served. Or at least the legacy version of it. And he had some fun stories.
See that box kite looking thing?
This is Mr. Les.
That's a replica of the Wright brothers plane. That flew in 1903. So 30 something years later,
Yeah.
You got this.
Did you used to fly these too, or?
No, I didn't fly anything. I was a photographer's mate in the Navy.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
was a mass communication specialist.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
That's what they apparently. There's no more photo mates. It's now
Right.
you're a
Yeah, they
communication
merged them all
specialist.
together. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Get in the front seat of a T-2A jet trainer. We take off. He says, I'm going to put some positive G's on us so your camera stuff doesn't fly around the cockpit. So we were up probably close to 20,000 feet. He pulls up, rolls on her back.
Oh.
We flew down the length of the installation inverted while I'm looking through the canopy towards the ground, taking pictures like this. We made about 4 passes, and about that time my lunch was right here.
Yeah, I bet.
I said, Lieutenant, it's getting dark. I'm losing the light. Let's call it a day.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you. Gosh. You imagine like in air flying through this and like having to squeeze through all the cockpits and stuff when you're getting hit with flak. When you spend $5 and you get inside the plane, there's another volunteer to talk you through what the crew might have experienced up in the air.
These go up to the flight
Meet Mr. Rich.
deck. They're connected to the 2 yokes. You saw one on either side. And the foot pedals, they go back and out to all the flight controls.
Wow.
They control everything. This is what's called a fly-by-wire aircraft.
Kind of a strange question. How do they use the bathroom?
Good question. Good question. They tried a number of things, okay, none of which worked. They tried putting a hose with a funnel in the bomb bay. Good for one person. It froze. That was the end of it. They tried putting buckets in. A little turbulence.
Spill everywhere.
Not a bad good idea.
So the volunteers here will walk you through the bomber and explain how the crews inside lived in it for hours at a time. Cold, loud, cramped. Plus there's flak flying all around you and fighter planes. Yeah, I can only imagine how stressful this was. They even have a replica of the Dark Star here, the plane that Tom Cruise flies in the beginning of Top Gun Maverick. At that point, I was already nerding out a little bit. But then, tucked away in the back of the hangar, we saw it. My favorite plane ever built. Well, second favorite. The P-51 Mustang still holds the crown. This plane for a long time was thought not to exist. The kind that was labeled as a black project, meaning it remained an ultra-secret program for much of its life. In fact, it was so secret that with earlier versions of this plane, anyone that saw it flying over Nevada was led to believe that it was a UFO instead of a government secret project, which is crazy. This was a fun moment for me, and Sarah shared in that excitement, in her own way.
Is this from Star Wars too?
What?
Is this from Star Wars too?
No, this is an actual... Is this interesting at all?
I liked going in the thingy.
What
Plane.
Oh.
It's more interesting than other plane museums we've been to. Planes, trains, automobiles, not quite a special interest of mine, but I can appreciate the craftsmanship and history and passion. Now, if it was spaceships, that's more where my interest lies. And space stuff.
I can get down with that.
Oh.
Whoa.
We spent the rest of this rainy morning walking down Palm Canyon Drive looking for a coffee and a place to wait out the rain. Unfortunately for us, everyone else had the same idea. Every coffee shop was packed. So we rode the rain out in the RV until nightfall.
Whenever you're ready.
Rain let up, thankfully. It's Thursday night. Every Thursday throughout the year, except for Christmas Day, they have Village Fest, I believe it's called, and it is just a street market. It's like we're being catapulted back to Chiang Mai, except it's significantly colder. In fact, this is the same outfit pretty much I wore during New Zealand winter, and it's only 54 degrees. So not to spoil any of our travel plans this year, but I'm gonna be screwed if I can't learn to acclimate. Well, don't look at the high waters. Plans. Eat. I'm sure Tony will film some musicians because he happens to have cash on him. He only films artists and musicians when he can tip. And see what trinkets Sarah wants to get with Tony's bunny.
$5.
Okay, egg. October mark, 3 for 30.
Can I take a picture of the buns too? Is that okay? Thank you.
Good?
I like the speed. Good, yeah.
Yeah?
Alright, so first things first, we got 2 barbecue pork steam buns. This place has a line way longer than anywhere else, so it's gotta be good. These cost $4 each, so $8 total.
Pretty good. Really doughy.
This goes on way longer than I thought it is. It's like 4 or 5 blocks. It's about as crowded as Chiang Mai was too.
Only the prices were the same. Where's the $2 beer?
As you'd expect, the street performers are out and about in these markets. But there was one lady's voice who drew me in over to her. She also happens to be singing a great song. Between the performers, the knickknacks, and the local artists, there's plenty to look at. But we're here mostly for food. And those pork buns were just the beginning. Now it's on to the main course. And dessert, obviously. First, some pupusas from El Salvador. And of course, churros. Gotta have churros. And while waiting for churros in a Cafe de Olla, I got to chatting with some of the people making it.
Chocolate that we make from scratch. This is our tablet. And this is how we froth the old way. This was invented by the grandmas of Oaxaca. It's a lot of work, but you know what? It makes it perfect. When you go to Oaxaca, any restaurant, the chocolate is just a tradition. Especially the chocolate being from the Mayan Empire, Mexico. We have to make it the right way.
Yeah.
We are at the Palm Springs Tramway. This is something I did not know even existed until we started looking into this area. It's a wee bit expensive, definitely more than we like to spend on things. I think it's $45 a person to get up there, and then it was $15 to park. It looks like it's gonna be beautiful. It did say that tickets were sold out. I think that's pretty common, especially around a holiday like we are now, but we're hoping we can walk in and get tickets and hopefully not wait all day long.
Two?
2 adults.
Yes, please.
So my next available tram is going to be the 924 tram car. We'll start boarding here in 1 hour.
So tickets were actually $34, and it's not as bad as a wait as I thought it'd be. I thought we had to wait till like 11 o'clock, getting here at 8. We only have to wait till 9:30. So we got here about 8 o'clock. We got into the line and got to the ticket stand about 8:30, 8:24. And we got our tickets for 9:24, so not too bad a wait time. So by now you know I don't like heights. I don't need you to feel sorry for me or anything like that. Eventually I'll stop talking about it since it's one of those things that I keep dragging us to do. I honestly didn't feel nervous about this one. However, when they started packing us all in here like sardines, my mind started questioning the weight limits. And our tram operator had a surprise for us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Liam. I'm going to be your tramway operator for the day. A couple things about our trip. We are going to be going over 5 towers. They all have some swing to them. Number 3 has the most. It is my personal favorite. I'm also going to have that floor rotating for you. Please note, if you are hanging on to the handlebars that are attached to the windows, they do not rotate. You're going to have to slide your hands as you go along. If you have any questions, please let me know. Most importantly, folks, have fun. Good luck.
We're sliding. We're rotating. Okay, so these are the towers he's talking about. This is the first one. Keep that in mind.
Here we go. Swing number 1.
And this is the second.
I hate it.
Oh, and the rotating floor he was talking about too. When I did get a chance to open my eyes, the view was incredible. And in the distance, past the passing tram car, is the dreaded third tower. Here we go.
And Tower 3.
I'm not exaggerating this, I swear. It's just, my legs are shaking. We gotta come back down. I feel like that might be worse.
Ears are popping, her ears.
Palm Springs
How do you feel?
Great.
Yeah. My feet hurt.
Why do your feet hurt,
And my
Tony?
knees are a little shaky. Because I had to ground myself, so I was literally toes in the metal. So I don't move. I didn't want to move at all.
How much was it?
35.
Definitely worth $35.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always a fear with these things that it's going to be like overpriced, but I feel like that's solid.
Yeah,
That's a solid cost.
Now we gotta go back down. We did hang out here for a little while and take in the view before heading back down. Going down is much more spacious, but my guy Liam got a show.
All right, folks, welcome back. My name is Liam. I'm going to be your tramway operator for the way down. Good luck.
Going down in the tram was a completely different experience, mostly because there were way fewer people heading in that direction.
This feels like it's spinning faster. Is it not?
Probably because there's less people.
We felt the floor rotate a lot more, but there was also less of the side-to-side sway when we passed by the towers. We were actually talking about what would happen if the tram ever got stuck. It just so happened that there was a malfunction that shut the whole thing down later that same day we were there.
That wasn't so bad.
I love that they're playing Freebird.
I think that was my favorite tram experience anywhere in the world that we've been. Is that true for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably the better one that we've done. View-wise, the view was spectacular. We had good weather today.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't windy, so I can give that a plus because we've done other ones where it's been like super windy. Yeah, I'd say that was the best one.
I think that was like most bang for our buck too. Like I feel like they could easily charge 70 or 80 bucks and people would still flock to it. But that was like, I think it's really appropriately priced.
Also, there are a very select few RV spots for anyone crazy enough to drive an RV up the mountain like us. But if Jam Jam made it, any RV can.
We just wrapped up a tour of the Aqua Caliente Cultural Museum, and it was great. It was like one of the best interactive museums I think I've been to for such like a small space. We always like to explore a place and enrich our culture and knowledge as we travel through, and this is no different. You know, obviously we want to know the history, we want to know a little bit of the Black history, we want to know a little bit of the Indigenous history. So this was a good experience for us to go to and kind of get a little bit deeper into what Palm Springs is and how Palm Springs was made.
Inside, you'll find exhibits on the Kauai people, the original stewards of this land. And you learn about their history, their culture, and the traditions that still matter today. There are displays of handcrafted baskets and pottery that are unbelievably intricate. There's the history about their water rights, their families, how the reservation operated, and how they adapted through all the changes that came with colonization and later tourism development. And it's not just old photos and dusty artifacts either. This museum does a really good job of showing how the culture lives on. Like, some of the stuff in here is really state of the art.
So we just realized that Tony's shirt is inside out, and now we have realized it is also backwards. So he's wearing a backwards and inside out t-shirt. And on these Kettle Mountain t-shirts, affiliate link in the description, they're actually a really great clothing brand. But I guess when you pee and you lift your, I don't know, do you lift your shirt up when you pee? There's a little message, and on this one it says, "Let the willy free." But since his shirt is inside out and backwards, it's resting right on his butthole. What do you have to say for yourself?
I had a sweatshirt on earlier, and I thought it didn't matter. I just threw this on last night when I was going to bed, and I didn't change my shirt, so I put a sweatshirt over it this morning because it was cold, and I took it off now that it's hot, and I didn't realize it was inside out until we were in the museum. Now I realized it was inside out and backwards, so here we are.
So anyway, we did have time to shower, change, and make sure our clothes were properly on before we step back out for dinner.
I feel like I do this often and probably shouldn't, but we compare a lot of places we've gone to other places we've gone to. I feel like that's only natural though. But Palm Springs kind of feels like New Zealand, like southern New Zealand. I think we started in Queensland when we were there, and it just looks like that, with like just being at the base of a mountain with the airport right there. So the planes are landing and they're going straight past the mountain.
We had Village Fest on Thursday, now it's Foodie Fridays. Actually, I wanted to go to the one in Indio, but I didn't even know this one was a thing until like a little while ago. Apparently this one's been here for approximately a year now. But this one actually works out because the one in Indio is about 45 minutes away. Hopefully we could spend a little less than we did yesterday night. I actually don't think I spent that much, but I also didn't need to get churros and Cafe de Olla. But I don't know, because I also want a beer, so we'll see. So we came out here, we were gonna walk, it was about 1.5 miles from where we were. Then Sarah rolled her ankle, so we were like, oh boy. So we decided to Uber. And then when we got here, we realized the film festival was going on, and it's going on here too. So there is no Foodie Fridays, and I dragged us out here, and Sarah rolled her ankle for absolutely no reason. So we're gonna call it a night.
We got up early to snag a parking spot at Indian Canyons. Since it's on Indigenous land, there is a small fee that goes directly back to the community. It's $12 per adult, free for military, but honestly it feels like a pretty fair deal for getting to experience a place like this.
Is there going to be RV parking on some of the trails? Just the earlier ones?
Andreas Canyon has an RV parking.
Andreas Canyon? Perfect. Okay, thank you.
So, this morning we are at Indian Canyons. There are 3 trails you can do here. The one we picked is the Andres Canyon because it is a 1/2 mile loop. It's supposed to be easy, and it's the 2nd largest palm oasis in the area, and it has a very big parking lot for RVs. So we can park here and walk the trail, and it should be pretty easy. Plus Sarah's ankle's still kind of messed up, so hopefully it's not too challenging.
Like, this is the view just from the parking lot, so this should be pretty nice.
Being here early, hearing nothing but birds and running water, and only a handful of people, it's hard to believe where we actually are. This is still the desert, but it's green. Like, surprisingly so green out here. It feels calm, and I'm not mad at starting the day like this. This trail was perfect for us because you're not hiking to something big out here, you're just moving through it. The trail's short, but everything's packed in tight. The palms and the mountainside, the stream, it's all right here. Another low effort, big payoff kind of trail.
Wow. New Age Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so let me fix you. I have a question about these palm trees. So we were noticing in the city that they're obviously well manicured, they're clipped on the ends, but I was like, these things fall, and when they die, the leaves die, they just fall over and create like a protective barrier, almost like a skirt. And I was thinking, do they ever stop just growing? I don't know, I think they stop growing because they die, but do they like some of these are just from the plant itself all the way down to the ground. So like, does it ever stop, or does it just keep piling on and piling on and piling on and just creating a deeper and thicker skirt around the tree?
Okay, weekly knowledge dump. Turns out some palms are non-self pruning, which means their dead leaves just stay there forever. Other palms politely drop them on their own, or they get trimmed because we as humans decided that should look nicer, and it can kind of be a hazard in the city.
So we see why Palm Springs is so popular now, but why was it so popular with celebrities? We kind of knew this already, but the Agua Caliente Museum really put it into perspective. Palm Springs wasn't just a random desert town that got popular. Back in the day, it was basically Hollywood's escape hatch. See, Hollywood used to have a 2-hour rule, meaning actors had to live within 2 hours of the studio. Palm Springs sits about an hour 50 from LA, which explains why so many stars ended up hiding out here. Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, just a couple of the more famous names we found. Wild how this quiet, palm-lined street used to be where some of the biggest names in the world went just to breathe for a second. And it doesn't hurt that this area is gorgeous. Anyway, this walk does have a purpose: brunch. We had passed this place before my ankle injury and it was packed, even at night, which felt like a really good sign. So with my ankle feeling a lot better, we made our way back to Sherman's. I went straight for the lox Benedict, and Tony got the corned beef hash. Our meals plus a coffee and OJ cost $69 after tip.
Ready.
Never had a lox Benedict. Food Baby brought to you by Sherman's Deli. So good. I had lox for only like the second or third time in my life, and the first time on a Benedict. Pretty solid. Kind of pricey, but I guess that's what you get for a quality brunch.
Palm Springs ended up being not what I expected, and in a good way. Also, it's way more veteran friendly than I realized. And honestly, the wild part is we probably could have spent a lot less and still had a great time. We were aiming for $300 and we walked away spending about $250.
Next stop, San Diego. That'll probably turn into 2 videos. One where we rediscover all the things that we loved about San Diego 7 years ago, and another that focuses on the locals who actually make San Diego feel like San Diego. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss those next detours.